Welcome back, everybody, to Affordability Today with Ramona. Today, we're going to cover something that I've been thinking about. I had to Google it, and it's the housing journey that someone goes through within their lifetime. And when I Googled it, Google told me someone's housing journey actually starts with them finding a property that they want to buy. And I'm like, no. Like phases, almost like life. Like you go through your 20s and you go through your 30s and you go through your 40s. What happens to build you to get to that point of becoming a homeowner that not only is created affordability for themselves, but also is a good neighbor? And when I Googled it and it gave me that about buying, I was just like, no. Let me ask a better question. Give it to me in phases, almost like life. And it was like, look, there are 5 phases in someone's housing journey throughout their life. And the first phase is what everybody goes through. Some people have different situations to where they have to live with a guardian, but you're still living with an adult who has the financial stability, as we thought, to take care of us, to make sure that we're good. Since we're a child, we're an adolescent, or we're an early adult, right? We're dependent on them to make financial situations and give us familiar support. So we do get to the point to where we're like, we don't want to be with our parents and we want to pay our own bills, or our parents don't want to be near us when they at least want us to start paying bills or get out. And that's when we go to phase 2. Which are usually in your late teens. You're probably in college or you're going to go tech or something like that, to where you're actually sharing a living space. You have roommates. You share your space with a group of peers, whether if that is on a college campus or that is actually in a large house. And if you're in New York, I've met friends who shared an apartment. And this is when you're increasing your independency, if that's a word. You're increasing your independence, right? But you're not there to go fully independent yet. And you're young, right? Well, you're human. How about that? You're human. So you still want social focus while sharing rent and expenses and making it affordable for yourself until you transition to your next situation. But before we transition to the next situation, let's speak about this. When dealing with roommates, you're not only securing yourself financially, but you're also building character. Think about that. You're building what it means to be a good neighbor, and you're also shaping what you like around in your community. These are the things that you need as you move on in the phases of your housing journey in life. You need to know how to be a good person and treat others the way that they want to be treated, right? While coming together for a common good, to get on the landlord to do some maintenance because that sink has been dripping and oh my gosh, it's right next to your room and you can hear it. If anybody understands what I mean, please drop a comment. And if you have good roommates, they're going to hurrah right behind you. And right then and there, you're learning how to be an asset to a community. And you're learning how to work with the community. And that's why shared living, which is phase 2, is very important because it shapes you. So when you're looking to rent, which is phase 3, you're not only looking at what you can afford, but you're also starting to look at what community you like. What amenities you like in that area that you didn't have when you was living in that house with those roommates or in that building with those roommates. You may like walking like me, 2 o'clock in the morning, just walking outside looking at the stars. Oh my goodness. But you're not going to rent in an area to where you can't walk 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it fits your budget, but people are willing to make adjustments so they're able to walk 2 o'clock in the morning. Ask my sister. Now, when you rent, like I said, you're fully independent and you're ready to take on more financial responsibilities, but you have saved and also molded yourself into building an affordability plan that works for you mentally without even writing it down. So is it really necessary to skip step 1 and step 2 when it actually builds you into the person that you are today and who you're going to be in the future? Because in phase 3, you're really exercising what you learned in phase 2 and phase 1. To where if you haven't learned, it's a great % chance you're going to revert back, especially if life hits you hard. Now, we're going to move on to the next phase, which is phase 4. And phase 3 and phase 4, it just really depends. Because if you're like me and you lived in a shared living space and you met your partner, you moved in with your partner and you guys split rental costs together, whether if that's an apartment or a house. Some people just go off and rent on their own. But phase 4 is you have a spouse, you have a partner, and you're ready to split those costs. But you're not just financially invested in this relationship. You're invested emotionally, which is a stronger tie than financially. Right? But let's just say, hey, I don't have a partner, I don't have a spouse, I don't want to run on my own, but I have a best friend and we click. We get along. That's good too. But where it really gets sticky is buying a home. That's phase 5. So many people skip so many stages to get to stage 5. Quick. But stage 5 is usually, let's just say, in your sweet spot of your housing journey throughout your life. So when you purchase that house, you're able to build equity, able to build stability. You're able to work with the community to start putting things in the neighborhood that not only helps you, but it actually helps others. You're able to talk to different organizations for that community that people can benefit from, or you can talk to them saying that you don't want them in the community because people in the community do not benefit from it. And you're able to come together as a collective with persons because you all care about your community and you all care about each other, which means you guys have practiced what it means to be a good neighbor. Sound familiar? So the reason why it sounds familiar is because you went through all phases from phase 1 through phase 4 to get to where you are with stage 5. So not only are you mentally mature, but now you're also financially mature because you continue to exercise what does affordability mean to you. And you're also able to consider costs such as fixing your own fixtures in your house. When appliances go down, you're ready for it and you're financially prepared for it because you've either made steps to save or purchase warranties that protect your, I don't like to call a house an investment, but you have secured protecting your investment. In stage 5. Now, when moving with a spouse on to stage 5, we talked about community and we also talked about financial stability in stage 5. But let's talk about contractual agreements in stage 5. It sticks more than actually rental agreements, although rental agreements can affect your credit, which affecting you being able to move on to stage 5 in a time. Now, with these contractual agreements, when you sign a contract purchasing a house with either a spouse or a friend, because I've seen people do that to where they purchase a house with a friend. Now, people really need to keep in mind that when under these contractual agreements, you really needed before then to exercise what it means to be a good neighbor to each other and what it means to be good to each other. Because now you are bound to be with each other. And if you guys have any disagreements and one person wants to sell the house because they're ready to move on or whatever that may be, now the other person has to sign. And what if that person is upset at you and they won't sign it out of spite? What do you do? So why are people rushing to stage 5? When people haven't exercised the maturity of being a good neighbor and being good to other people and also themselves. They haven't exercised what it means to actually work with others to push something through for the common good, whether if that's getting something fixed in a house together or whether if that's getting the government to fix a street. People haven't exercised what affordability actually means to them. And they go off of external factors that tell them what affordability actually should be. So is skipping the phases of housing good for everyone, not just in America, but in the world? Is it really worth fast forwarding to the end goal, which is purchasing a house, and at the expense of lacking character and treating others well, over time working together to build affordability in your neighborhood? So, this is our first podcast. We're going to have a series of podcasts that actually talk about affordability today, not what on external factors tell us, but what affordability means to us as individuals as we navigate this new market of what affordability actually is. My friends, my family, they always call me when it comes to real estate. I've been in the real estate market. I'm not a real estate agent. I used to be a real estate agent, but the way I look at real estate, it's quite, that's all I can say, to where I have these thoughts and I'm happy to sit down and actually finally share them and walk through these phases together as we grow together and identify what affordability means to us now. Thank you so much for spending your time. I hope you're cooking some good dinner or something like that and listening to this. It means so much to me that you're still listening. Please feel free to drop comments down below if you have any questions or if a lot of this resonated with you. I'm going to post weekly different podcasts going through the phases of affordability. So therefore, we can all get some things out in the air when it comes to navigating what's going on. And if nobody has ever told you this, I am going to tell you this. Where you are and what you're doing nothing wrong. And the reason why is because you're doing the best that you know how. And I want for you to know that. Thank you so much. And I look forward to us just going through this journey together. Have a great day, guys. Till next time. Hey.